Microsoft, nope, we're not giving it. We're not giving the code. We're burning it. So they're going to use it in mesh, from what I understand, parts of it.
Yeah, that mesh.
I mean,
I heard something about that too. Yeah, but
yeah,
wow.
you're not the only one. But
Yeah.
it's so yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. I literally, if they would have just gave it to me, I would have tried to run it on my servers, for God's sakes, because I
Hmm.
love alt space as much as you guys do too.
Yes, I mean, this
So
this was my first time ever getting on into a platform, any type of platform. Period. My first experience in computer. Period. And
well,
I loved it. I felt like it has been a lifesaver and stuff for me and stuff. So I really hate to see it go. I truly do.
well,
Everybody else is not the, other platforms are not like that home base like
that's correct, and
Outspace is. You
that's
know,
what we're trying to be like alt spaces, and try to be a homey kind of platform. And you know,
okay.
each metaverse has their own little pluses. Like,
Yes.
Meta has their, like, if you want to make cartoon worlds, it's wonderful. Um,
Mhm.
if And they have a pretty good community over there too. I know a lot of people from Horizon World. A lot of some Utopians are in Horizon World too. Um, the but VR chat, uh, it has some good spots, but it also has got a lot of dangerous stuff. It's not VR chat's fault, because VR chat tried to give the power to the people kind of thing. Problem is,
Mhm.
some of those people, what we like to call in the industry, hackers, and
Oh.
they literally just ravaged uh, VR chat, and they can't get them out now because they literally put sniffers in their world to sniff out the data packets
Wow.
for the server, so they know how everything works. They literally would have to rewrite alt space, but rewrite VR chat to stop it, just to keep them from
Mhm.
getting in there, because they taught them stuff they should have never taught. But I can't believe they. I actually saw a tutorial one time because a programmer friend of mine goes, "Want to know what's wrong with VR chat? Watch this video." Literally, they're talking about how they can get around the stripper program that's built by Unity to keep that kind of stuff to get in. They literally, with VR chat, had a tutorial on how to get around it, and that's why people are throwing code in there. So be careful what worlds you go into. Only go to worlds your friends are in, or people that brung stuff from Altspace or something that you know, because there are going to be hackers that literally will create worlds that you walk in and they can hack your headset just going into that world, and you won't even know it's hacked. I've heard one guy, I won't know say his name because I actually know him, literally goes around, if he gets mad at somebody, and will literally turn your screen completely blank. So literally just like you won't see nothing but darkness. Unless you know how to get in there to stop it and rootkit it. You can't get it unless you reinstall the whole thing or factory install. So yeah, it's dangerous. And on the side of that, also VRChat has a really bad community of people that, let's just say, do things with kids that should not be done, children, especially in VR or anywhere else for that matter. I have a friend who I won't tell you his real name, but he goes around to Altspace VR chat, and he literally has been there since the beginning. So he's like one of the elders. They call them the elders or whatever. And he can get into every room. Everybody thinks he's this cool guy that's down with all the weird stuff. He literally films these people and then puts it on YouTube, saying the dark side of VR chat. Him, there's also a female that does it too. I don't know her that well, but he literally had this one that he showed me that I almost cried. It was bad. I mean, this guy was talking to this 12-year-old about stealing his dad's alcohol, getting him drunk, and then they played spin the bottle, and you know where that's going at. So there's some bad things in VR chat, but there's also good things too. I'm not going to narc it. It's not the programmer's fault. It's not VR chat's fault. I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm just warning you guys, there are stuff you need to watch out for when you go over there. Um, and yeah, that's true. Oh, somebody messaged me. Um, so it's there's a lot of things you need to look out for that's out there, because people will always try to swindle somebody else or do something wrong, and that's just the way it is in life. But you all know that we're not kids here. Um, but yeah, is there any more questions, or did I answer all your
Yes.
question thoroughly?
Hypnomask. Another question.
Hi. Oh, there she is.
Okay. I wanted to address something that had been said by one of the people that's in here. Basically, it was said the big developers are pulling their worlds for certain reasons. I can tell you that several of those big developers are personal friends of mine. That is not why those worlds are being pulled. Um, and some people love, some people don't, has created a world ripper. It is so good, it rips your world in every single detail. Every world developer in here now is scared that those worlds are being ripped, and they are being ripped. One of my personal friends has had all his worlds ripped, put into VR chat, and he's now been told that they're not his worlds. He stole them, which he didn't. He created them himself. So,
Hold on one
following
second. I gotta
suit,
pause this.
all the world developers, the big ones, including, I will say his name, Optic, have removed those worlds for their safety. They are their personal property. They are not ours. They never have been our property. We were allowed to use the templates, but we can no longer use them because of those people that are doing those disgusting things. So he's had to remove his property to protect it. It is being into different platforms for people to reuse again. Those worlds will be reseen. I have it on good authority from my friends. They are finding the platforms they're choosing. I won't say which ones because I don't know exactly if they're going to do two platforms, one platform. I don't know. But I do know those platforms are being updated for everyone to be able to see and use and love again. They just have to find the safest way they can to protect their intellectual property. Artsy is slightly different. Apparently, her stuff has got some sort of patent built in. A lot of the others didn't have. So she can afford to leave hers where they are because she will literally sue the arse off any one of you that decides to rip it and leave it. Don't do it. You really don't want the lawsuit because I've been talked to about it. You really don't want the lawsuit that's going to go with it. Um, but this Ripper is very prevalent in VR at the moment. Anyone that uses it to remove a world and put it anywhere else, you are at risk from being sued by either Outspace if you take one of their worlds, or by one of the world developers if you take one of theirs. I personally have worlds in here and I've been very slowly taking them out so people can continue to enjoy them as long as I could. But the rest of mine are going to be going follow suit now because this Ripper is so perfect now. Before, it used to take quite a bit to put it back together and it wasn't always correct. So the world builders weren't that threatened by it. Now, the person in Outspace has developed it to such an exclusive point that it is space perfect. It will rip everything down to the tiniest millimeter and recreate it for you so you can have it as your own world. It isn't, it's still their intellectual property. They can prove it is and they will sue you. So if anyone's used it, God said don't upload in it. Just delete it because it's not worth what's going to happen to you if you do it.
And
That's why
in
they've had to
Hypno,
remove that.
since you know those people, if you could get a hold of them and have them get a hold of me, maybe we could work getting their stuff over this so people that are using it can still use it and still be on their Patreon.
Yeah, I have asked. um, Currently, specifically, Optic has suspended his Patreon for everyone. He has said anyone that is actually paying on the Patreon, he will put those worlds where you want them. If you contact him and ask him, he's willing to go the distance with people that have actually bought worlds from him. The free community stuff, that's up to him where he decides to put it. We can ask, but it's up to him where he puts it. But the stuff the worlds that have been bought by individuals, they will be put on another platform when you ask. They are your worlds, and he has not removed any of those. All the worlds that have been bought and paid for individually have remained where they are. They're in your private account. So he knows if they get ripped, it's because you've allowed access to it. But if you want it moved on to another platform, contact him and ask him. He is willing to help. He is still very much part of the community. He is in the community. He's answering questions when people see him. Please be respectful and kind. He really is trying his best to help everybody. And he left those worlds in to the last second until that Ripper was perfected. And he really couldn't afford to leave them in anymore and they had to be taken. He's guilty as sin and he's gutted he's had to do it. And he was talking to me the other night about it, and about 10 people, like en masse, were like, "Oh, why have you done this?" And they were all shouting at him. And I was like, "Whoa, hang on, dude, He's protecting his property. If somebody came to your house and was battering down the door and started removing items from your house, you would phone the police or you would try and stop them. This is all he's doing. This is his intellectual property. It's how he makes his living. So he has to protect it. And that's all the other builders are doing as well. I know there's many, many, many other ones. I don't know myself, and they've started doing the same thing. But this is what it boils down to. The world creators and the world developers that are bringing in from Unity, like myself and the bigger, bigger, bigger boys, they are protecting their property and their worlds, and they are trying to find alternate platforms or multiple platforms to upload them on for you to continue to enjoy. But they can't do that if these rotten beep, 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 keep stealing them and putting them all over the place and claiming them as theirs, because they have to deal with the lawsuit claims on those first before they can then upload them safely for us to reuse. So if you hear of someone doing that, please report them to the world creator and get their ass in trouble rather than anybody else's. So we, the people as a mass, can have those templates back in spaces where we want to use them, rather than the criminal individuals that stop us from having those things because they can't be uploaded until they're dealt with.
Okay. Any more questions?
Right. We have a question from Queen.
Queen.
Yeah, I actually just want to extend some more input on what you said. I'm not mad. I like Optic. I love his worlds. I think he does stunning work. I was just sad that it was gone. I didn't know that he was taking them off. And I did hear very early on about a ripper. But I knew that I had other people's property on mine, so I wasn't going to ever even try it. That's why I was so sad, because my world was gone before I even got to use it, technically. I just built it, and that announcement started that week. And then everybody kind of got sad and went their own way. And last week I decided, hey, let's go use this before it goes away. And it was gone. I was so sad. And Duke's Player, another thing too, I love Duke's Player. I just actually canceled my membership because I paid for the 3 weeks. I had to cancel it because I have nowhere to put it right now. So if this is going to work, it'd be wonderful.
I literally talked to his wife last weekend, see if she could get a hold of him and see if he will come over to Utopia VR. I told him whatever it takes to get him over there. We definitely want him over there because I want to keep watching movies too. So it's kind of a I think too as well. So yeah, so hopefully he gets a hold of me and we'll take care of that.
I have a question from. Okay, I'm gonna try this. RPL.
Oh, I didn't get the
one.
Oh, I was.
Hello,
Queen.
yeah, Queen was
called
gonna.
Me. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then someone else had
Yeah,
talked.
Queen had a question first. Hold on one second.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are the opportunities for collaborating with companies and organizations? I have a couple of questions actually. So yeah, the opportunities for collaborating with companies and organizations, and also, what are opportunities for advertisement? With Utopia, and then also, do you guys sponsor as well? So that people can help to promote you. I'm actually a radio show DJ and host. I have a radio show with a station that's out of upstate New York, and I've been talking with them about trying to get my show on alt space pretty much, but I'm finding out that alt space is shutting down. So now we're looking for something that is similar. Yeah.
We are looking for partnerships and talking stuff. We actually do have a radio station we're using, but you can always have more than one radio station for people to listen to. So yeah, just contact me and we'll talk more detailed about that individually. So yeah, we do that. We are going to be, once the city that we're building gets built, we are going to have advertisement things and like billboards and stuff like that to help bring down the cost of our servers and to help fund more programmers, because frankly 18-hour days is really hard to do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so RP, are you still able to talk?
And I can't find them on the list. Oh, there we are. Should be able to unmute and talk. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay,
Now,
there you go.
can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, that's actually Ready Player One. But anyway, okay, so
he muted himself. Hold on. We're having a problem. He accidentally muted himself. Can't unmute him. Unmute yourself. I can't unmute you. All right, I'm gonna just go with we're having problems. So I'm just gonna unmute everybody, but you'll still have to unmute yourselves. Yep. It's on his end. I can't do anything.
Re-enter the room.
Yeah, you're gonna have to re-enter.
Right. We have Charlie. We have Charlie 0.
Hello? Hello? Hear me all right? Just a quick one. I only build worlds with open brush, and I'm tilt brush and open brush. Just wondering if that's going to be able to use that in Utopia in the future. Hello?
James is muted and he shouldn't be. He's a host.
Oh, sorry
James,
about that.
you have to unmute
That's me.
yourself. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to do it because my dog started going crazy. So do you know what file formats that it can export to? Can it do OBJ?
Well, it comes from OpenBrush onto the computer or drive. It's a GLB, and then to make a lot of textures work, you have to put it through Unity. But Unity has its own. Still uses somebody rewrote the Tilt Brush toolkit. It has to have this toolkit on the back of it to work, and somebody rewrote it. There was nothing to do with Tilt or OpenBrush, and it took me ages to learn how to do it, but I managed to suss it out twice because of the update. And in Spatial, I can drag them in as they are, but they don't come in with some of the textures. Some of the brushes are different. I'm just wondering if there's any idea whether if there's somebody that could give me information about on a Unity. Yeah,
I'd have to look into that more. I don't use it. I'm not a graphics person. I'm a coder, and my graphics person is moved to Philippines and literally can never hardly ever make it to Altspace anymore.
I see.
Yeah. I will do my best to see if I can get a hold of him and see if he knows anything about it. And I'll also do some research for you on it.
Yeah.
If you can go into Unity, there's got to be a way to do it.
Yeah, OpenBrush are very good themselves. They have a really good tutorial, so I'm hoping they'll get back to me and let me know if I can do it with. They've got information on, because you're quite new. I would think they probably haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, they might have SKD or something for us to be able to add to our world, so that way we can accept it.
And one more question is the pricing. Will there be an annual? Will it only be monthly, or can you pay a whole year?
Maybe down the road when we open up our own e-commerce store, because you can't do that with Patreon. It's usually a monthly thing that they have. You can buy merchandise, which we're not selling merchandise. So when we open our own e-commerce store, we probably will have like a discounted annual prepay for the whole kind of thing to go in.
Because at the moment I have no way of paying a monthly. Don't use any of the PayPal things or anything. I don't normally buy stuff. I bought games, but that was a risk for me. I'm not keen on putting money on the internet.
Yeah. Well, nowadays even your credit cards aren't safe anyways because they're all electronic anyways.
On Azzy.
Hi. Sorry, I forgot that I raised my hand. Anyway, yeah, you might know me as Azi Limitless Mind because we have for 2 years we had the Theory of Everything talk show on Fridays, sometimes on Saturdays now. So we are looking for a new space as well, to migrate. We have a very nice society and community of people who like to discuss philosophical questions and have deep conversations for a couple of hours. So I was wondering, well, if we can try. I missed the first part of the event, so I didn't have the information, the general information. But I'm just curious if you, what's the format of different events that you want to have on your platform, because that's basically forms DNA of a product. I think Outspace was so nurturing for minds because it had a nice DNA. It would kind of motivate and encourage to be more, intellectual, more creative, and all that. So I'm wondering what's the DNA of your project. Sorry if I make you repeat yourself.
Well, we will be doing everything that you can do on your event system that you can do in Altspace. We are eventually going to have it all put in to our system. We actually have a few people that do counseling sessions already over in Utopia VR. They're going to start setting up once our event system gets finished out. So we're wide open for that kind of stuff. I see counseling and stuff like that. It's really a big thing in VR down the road. I know of a company that's in Los Angeles that is a bunch of psychologists that are getting together to try to create to prove to insurance companies that using VR headsets, they should use them as a subscription for people with mental illness, help them actually learn and try to reprogram their brain, basically, using that. Now we're good. That's if you're old enough, you know what lawnmower man is. That's kind of a scary topic for older people, but I see it as a really good tool to help people. It's not just that either. There's another aspect. Hold on one second.
So we have a Daniel Dio.
Hey there. Hi.
Daniel Dio.
No,
Hello?
Daniel. Just Daniel is enough. Hey,
Okay.
hey there. I've never been to Utopia VR, but I'm a counselor. I'm a psychotherapist here and a meditation teacher. So I'm really curious. Do you have clients there? So a counselor client system in Utopia VR? Because I experimented already with one-on-one counseling here in Altspace.
I'd have to delve deeper into that. I mean, it's very possible we could set something up. So you want some way to track your clients in Utopia?
Because you have to when you open up an office in just in the regular world, right? You have to have a PR system, and the good thing in the regular world is you have newspapers, you have all the kind of stuff. You can set up a website, right? And this system has to work in the ecosystem of a platform somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing here in Altspace was there are a whole bunch of people running around here. So,
Yep, and we're hoping that we get a lot of them over to Utopia VR as well to get them, a place to live and a home for them and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I would like to talk to you further about that. We are going to be opening up because we're building an actual city that we're building out that's going to be like the main hub of everything, and we will have billboards and go see such and such or whatever like that for people to advertise what they do in the metaverse too, as well as you can find, of course, like in the event system, you'll be able to search the types of events that you can look for the categories. And we were going to have it where it's a drop down list so that way people didn't have to type. Then I don't know if it was Dave or Marsha that actually talked me into the fact that we need to dump all that and just let people type in whatever category they want to type in, and then let people just search on whatever they want to search on. So otherwise we'd be taking requests all day long.
We finally got Ready Player One back in and on mic. Go ahead, Ready Player One.
Okay, so I don't know if I was heard, but essentially I came a little late, actually last half hour, so I'm kind of in the dark here. So my first thing is to express my dismay about Allspace basically going away. I barely got a chance to experience it. So I'm glad to hear about Utopia. One of the things I was wondering is this issue with Allspace closing its doors have to do with this intellectual property issue?
No, it has to do with the fact that they're moving to mesh, which is more of an enterprise business system. Only really bought AltSpace to use the code from it and to be able to use some of the intellectual ideas and take that with them to mesh. You can't resell AltSpace because some of the code is in mesh system itself. Um, you can go in and ask to be a mesh builder and put on events in mesh, but again, it's primarily an enterprise um, platform now.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't work in headsets, does it?
Yes, it does work in headsets.
It does work in headsets. I didn't know. I haven't been on it.
So
I was
just look at that.
It was just on the Utopia site and finding out that it's web-based.
Nope, that's the wrong one.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Is that the logo you see that's up there in the corner up there?
I couldn't tell you. I can't see my desktop at the moment.
Okay.
And I have my browser closed to conserve space.
We are not a browser based at all. We're completely fully an app like Allspace VR.
Okay, so it will be a platform accessible through Steam, or how is it?
We will have it on Steam. Eventually it'll be in the App Lab store. Right now we're on SideQuest.
Okay, so it's okay. So you're eventually going to be in the App Lab.
If you take a picture of this, link above this head.
Yeah.
And you go to that link. That will give you all the information you need. Also, there's a Discord link down here. Take a picture of that, and they can help you on the Discord.
Okay, sounds good. Because I'm just getting into SideQuest, and I have two headsets. I have the one that I'm on right now, which is my old Samsung HMD, and then also the Meta Quest 2. And so far, my only experience with SideQuest with my Samsung, which I like to use from time to time, is through the computer. Not being able to, obviously go to SideQuest. I can't load SideQuest on my headset, but you can do it on the Meta. And so my assumption is, and I don't like making assumptions, but my assumption is that most people who are going to access it, since it is not web-based, will have to have a Meta Quest 2.
For Utopia VR, we have Pico, Pico 4. We're on Quest. We're on Steam. So any PC VR that uses Steam can get into us. We also work on the Rift. What else? We're talking to Apple to see if Apple will give us an SKD, so when their headset comes out, that we can go into that. There's a couple other smaller headset groups that are out there that a lot of people don't know about that we've talked to. Most of them use Steam, so if they can use Steam, they can get in. So we kind of like just, okay, well, if you're using Steam.
So then it definitely would have to be through Steam. You won't be able to load it into your Quest 2 through SideQuest wirelessly?
Yeah, you can do that too. You can have Quest 2 too. Yep. You can do it on the Quest.
You can do that now?
Do it on the PC. Yeah, if you follow that link she told you about.
Just go to that. Okay.
Shows you how to do it.
Okay, great. When is the next event expected to be on there?
I haven't really got any schedules right now. I don't know when's the next one or where we're going to be at. We do have our own world here for Utopia VR. We just haven't been using it. So that's something that's going to be sussed out real soon. Right now, we are trying to get our new servers up, and we're trying to get some easier ways and methods because, as you weren't here earlier, our GUI system was set up as programmers, so we're like, it's all functional. We know what things do, so we're trying to make it more easier, prettified, and polished for you guys as you guys are coming in. So, we're trying as fast as we can. Hopefully, our new version will be up tonight, actually.
Okay, so I just want to say thank you all very much for coming. This is an I Am CompuBear consortium production. We'd like to thank Nicole for our moderator and Carlos Austin for our wonderful photography and videography of this event. I'm going to open the microphones for casual networking and any questions and talking that you might have. You will not, if you leave at this point, be able to re-enter the event because it is over with.
I don't know
Well,
about
thanks for coming, guys.
your
That's pretty interesting.
really wouldn't be too
Yeah.
There have been a lot of events for various platforms.
I can't hear you.
I'm
That's
trying
why
to
I'm
show
moving
people
closer.
around, and I probably need to start going
Yeah,
to some more of them.
well,
And
myself, I'm
looking
fine.
at some more of the
Can you hear me
platforms.
now?
I've been trying to put that off
You're just turned.
as
You're
long
just
as I
low.
can, but it's
Do
probably
you have the
time to
megaphone
start
on?
investigating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just low.
Outspace
But I
is
do hear
glitchy.
you. It's